Welcome to Project Hardway. This is my 1994 Chevy S10 Little Green, and we're about to give it a significant facelift from the old seal beam front end that you're looking at here to the 95 to 97 Blazer front end. This is a super simple upgrade, real quick and easy to do, and it makes a huge difference, gives your truck a whole new presence on the front. Let's check it out. Hey, I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you. I've noticed a recent uptick in subscribers, and I really appreciate the support you guys have shown. Still a very small channel, but every little bit helps. Makes me feel good to look at that and see those numbers going up. So if you like what you see here today and you're not subscribed, please subscribe and come back for more. So at the junkyard, I looked around and I found the front end for a Blazer with the composite headlights, and the grill got everything for it. This grill is in really rough shape. The chrome is all ate up and peeled up off of it. I don't think I want to keep it chrome anyway. So I'm gonna scuff this up with some 400 grit sandpaper, get ready to paint it black. That chrome was kind of in a bad way in a lot of spots. I actually had to go and hit it with the 180 grit before I got to the 400. But now we've got it in the paint booth here. So I'm gonna hit that with some sandable filler primer. And once that's had time to cure and harden up real good, we'll sand it down, make sure everything's smooth. After sanding, there's still quite a few spots on the grill here that are low, didn't quite get filled up with the primer. So I've got it cleaned up, we'll spray it again. Now after a couple more shots with the filler sander primer and a little bit of spot putty, got everything looking as good as I care to get it. So now we'll hit it with a final coat of primer. With that final couple of coats of primer on there, looking real nice. I smoothed it down a little bit with one of the smoothing Brillo pads. I've got some of this acrylic enamel semi-gloss black. I'm gonna slap that on there. And after a couple of coats of that, gonna hit it with some satin clear enamel. There we go. The grill is all ready to go back in. And to complement it, I took the emblem and I painted it body color. I know a popular thing to do is paint the grill body color, and it looks good, but I think the black grill is gonna really look great with the finished product of the truck. So let's get those headlights on there. So while the paint dries on that new grill, we can go ahead and get this old grill off here. It's quite simple. It's got a couple of 9/32 for some reason screws in the top here, some hardware that used to be there but isn't, and then some pins that just push in on the bottom side. Yeah. Oh, come on now. That clip might be twisting. Ah, it's off. These corner marker lights come out. There we go. These headlight buckets are easy enough. These trim rings are actually what hold the headlight into the bucket. There's a screw here, screw here, screw here, screw here. Ooh. And then, for the time being at least, a single harness plugging into the back of this old headlight. I think I found the other grill screw. Alright, there's our little truck with the face all ripped off of it. Truth go ahead and be told, didn't actually have to take the headlight off the bucket like I did on the driver's side. Good to show you that though, how that goes. But it will all come off as one, 4 bolts. Here's the change we're making, okay? This is old seal beam glass headlight. We're switching to the composite headlights that came on the Blazers from 1994 to 1997. Those have got 2 headlight bulbs in it. That's only got 1. Which means that we've got 1 harness here when we need 2. So we're gonna have to get in there and make some things work. Before I start digging into the wiring, I've gone after some low-hanging fruit here. I've got, turn signals in the bumpers, and it's got marker lights on the sides. I have the regular bulbs here, and I had some clear LEDs right here. But on the other side, if you watch, I put some switchback LEDs in there. So now my parking light will be white, the turn signal will be orange, and a side marker bulb is an orange LED, so that once the headlight assembly is back on there, it'll have a much more vibrant orange color. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There's the parking lights on. See that clear bulb? It's bright, but it's not very orange, it's more yellow when it's lit up in the housing. We got a clear light over there on the right side right now, but when I turn on the hazard lights, it switches to orange, and it's bright. So that'll be a nice little upgrade to complement everything else we got going on. Before I go cutting into stuff, I need to figure out what does what on this wiring harness. There are 3 wires going in here. There's a black, at least on this side, there's a black, a green, and a tan, or an orangish color. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the ground, which I'm almost certain is the black wire, but I'm going to check it anyway for continuity. I've got the negative side of my multimeter set up on the negative terminal on the truck. Find the terminal for that black wire there. There we go. We've got continuity. So that's our ground wire. Figure such. Switch this bad girl back to 12 volts. See, battery 12.2. Right now I've got the headlight switch on, so when I plug these other terminals for the regular low beam, one of these should give me some voltage. Try the green wire first. Nothing. Try the tan wire. Oh, something's happening. It's kind of all over the place, but there's voltage going to that. Now I'll go click on the high beam and see what that green wire does. Now with the high beam switch on, this should give me a reading. Boom, voltage. So now we know that the tan wire is for the low beam, the green wire is for the high beam, black is ground. We're ready to start cutting into it. Now when I was at the junkyard picking up this front end, I went on ahead and snipped off the wire harness pigtail off the truck I got it off of. And I've already taken the passenger side and dissected it down to what I wanted to get. Instead of just cutting my entire harness off and then soldering that entire harness on. Kind of glad I did, because the wires that go to the side marker light there, that one's a little buggered. Don't need that though. We're just going to snip that connector off, wire this one in, make it, you know, halfway decent looking, and then move on this side. There's no going back now. Snip. Give these old automatic strippers a shot. Come here, you. Shoot. Not too bad, I reckon. There we go. There we go. We got some wires here. To put these together, I could have soldered them, but nah. Instead, I did every mechanic's least favorite thing. Well, I can't say least favorite. You know, I could have just twisted them together and wrapped some electrical tape around it, but I used butt connectors. I did, however, put some heat shrink on them, though. I'm not a psychopath. So now, before I go any further, it might be a good idea to break out my headlight bulbs, test those, and make sure everything works like it should. For headlights, I went with some LED lights. I get these on Amazon. I run them in everything that I've got. It's a brand called Hikari. They're a little expensive, but compared to the prices that you pay in like your auto parts store for bulbs that are not near as good as these, they're actually a little bit cheaper or right at the same price, and they are great. So now I just got to remember if my high beam or low beam is 9005 and 9006. It's got 2 bulbs. So I'm going to plug these in. They've got these little fans on them to keep them cool. I mean, these things rock. So I'm going to plug these in and see what they do. Alright, 9006 is the low beam, 9005 is the high beam. Earlier I said that this front end came on the 94 to 97 Blazer. I misspoke. 1994, the Blazer was still the square body for whatever reason. 95 to 97. However, this truck is a 94, first year for the round body truck. Well, I don't know. Maybe they couldn't sort out some safety regulation stuff on the Blazer just yet. You know, who knows? I don't know. Let's flip the switch and see what happens. Bam! I got nothing. Okay. Alright. That's disappointing. I can't think of a single reason why this shouldn't work. So the wires for this run from over there. But that, I wouldn't think, would keep this. Give me that. And God said nothing. Yep, disappointing. This wire's going to that, and that wire's going to this. This has got those. This should... So for whatever reason, the polarity was reversed when I took the harness off of the new headlights. It's got a clip on one side where this harness clips into the plug for the light. I took it, I flipped it around, put it in backwards, and the lights came on. Now when we hit the switch, boom! Golly! That thing is bright. Hit the high beam, boom! That one works too. So I'll clean all this up and then be ready to put the new headlight on there. One thing about these bulbs with these fans, sometimes you got clearance issues. I'm not just plopping that in there. Hopefully I can just take this bracket loose from the headlight assembly, put it in there, and then put this back on and it clear. If not, I won't hesitate. I will start chunking stuff out. Here we are. I've got this bracket loose from the assembly. Looks like I'm gonna have to take just a little chunk out of this plastic right here. Yep. Well, after a little bit of time with the Dremel, we've got ourselves another hardware hack job, but my very bright LED headlights are in there now. And make sure if you get some like these, they clock, they rotate. You want the wire to be straight down. That way you know that the pattern inside is going to be correct and it's going to spread the light in the housing and out of the housing like it ought to. So we'll slap that back on the truck. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Then we'll polish those headlights up and it'll be ready to put the grill back on. Get you in here and show you a quick before and after on these headlights. Ooh, crusty, not crusty. And it makes a difference on the beam too. See a lot more clear, kind of blue on the camera there. Not so much. There it is. Man, Little Green has got a whole new fresh look now. It's a good looking truck if I gotta say so. Man, those lights are bright. That thing lights up the road now. Check this out. One of the things I did while I was in here working on the truck, put some green LED lights in there, you know, match the aesthetics of the truck, I guess. But here at the end of the driveway, I've got a street light up there, but we hit those headlights and bang, just everywhere. It might not look that great on camera, but it is, I mean, I can see everything. And then we hit the bright lights, bam. Also, one thing about this, when you put those LED bulbs in your turn signals, you gotta replace the flasher switch down there on the firewall underneath the dash. It's gotta be an LED compatible one, otherwise your turn signals won't flash. Looking good with just the park lights on and those really sweet headlights. Well, there we have it. I'm almost done with this truck. There's still one more upgrade to come for it, so be watching out for that next. Right now, the truck looks really good. And hey, you know, this might not have been that hard. This is a pretty easy project to do. But remember, with other stuff, sometimes you still gotta do things the hard way. Thanks for watching.